Crystal art sold at Christie's, Bonhams, Sotheby's for dozens of thousands of euros. It's attributed to Moscow, but that's not correct. It's 256 kilometers from Moscow. It's a small town in Vladimir region, the town where I am from. Welcome to Gus-Khrustalny. Gus-Khrustalny is not a hidden gem or a countryside pearl. Nope. Part of the city, the buildings are just like this. It's a town with 40,000 people where everyone knows everyone. These dogs are living in the market. And if you see, they have a tag on their ears. Oops, I don't see the tag. Even the dogs are known. That red-haired homeless pup is tagged, vaccinated, and under the protection of this Hinkali point. Local market looks like this. Goods quality here is nice, especially when it comes to winter clothing. No one is joking here with warm clothes.
To know that probably Russian they count the cold by the number of Sasisky jacket they need to put on themselves.
Nope, we don't do it, guys. We just know how to make really warm clothes out of fur and feathers. And in freezing temperatures, Valinki are our best friends. So we are in 2 stars hotel in Gus-Khrustalny. Not bad. The town was built by the Maltsov family. In 1747, the Russian Senate banned glass and metal factories near Moscow because they were using lots of forests around. So merchant Akim Maltsov packed his factory, brought 150 workers from Mazhaisk and moved here in 1756 into the Meshchera forests. Why here? Because the city stands on the rare white sands, the kind you need to make crystals, and the trees around could be used as a fuel. And when we asked the lady at reception if there are tasty breakfast or not, she said, not at all. Just like egg and some sandwiches. So, honesty that is killing. By the 19th century, the Maltsov ran one of the largest glass operations in Europe. Their pieces went to imperial court. Their tableware sat in the rooms of Nicholas II, and they won the Grand Prix at Paris World Fair in 1900. In Gus-Khrustalny, the symbol of the city is goose. They even made a shot in the form of a goose. And at every party, this goose stays like this until someone's been late to the party. Then, goose goes upside down, filled in with vodka, and the late visitor should drink it all to put goose back into his right position. This is Gus-Khrustalny vibe. And here's the part that nobody outside Russia knows. The Maltsov ran one of the strangest social experiments in 19th century. The workers here lived well. They had houses, school, and the theatre. So let me show you. This type of houses. They are very, very cute. And they had podelochny days, when masters could experiment, make whatever they wanted, not what factory needed. Compete, show off, invent something nobody asked for. And that's how Russian crystal became Russian crystal. The factory has been doing this since the 1700s. A lot of buildings are like this. They are not restored yet. It means that all the labels in the buildings should be the same style, but that's not about Gus-Khrustalny, unfortunately. Here are such a problems people have with their cars because of the snow. And this is the exposition that is one of the most famous of the exposition of the Museum of Crystal. In 1830s, serf glassmaker named Razumey had a daughter. Her name was Ksyusha. That winter she got pneumonia. She couldn't make it to the spring, but she wanted to see the flowers, the spring flowers. Out of the broken colored glass, he made her a bouquet of summer flowers. She saw this bouquet and she got healed. Now this bouquet is available in the Museum of Gus-Khrustalny. And that's the typical morning of every Gusevchanin in the window in the winter. And now we're going to Crystal Market. We entered the Crystal Market. And we're going to see what do they offer here. Wow! Здрасте, а я поснимать. So here in this market you can find different kind of stuff. And this is the chandelier, which is actually very expensive. But here you can buy them like twice less a price than you can find in the Moscow shops or somewhere else. And this is also quite typical chandelier. So this type of holder was used in the Soviet Union a lot. Make it possible to keep the glass with a hot drink, so you are not touching the glass itself, which make it very convenient. This type of things, they are more expensive than, oops, nothing is visible. They are more expensive than the white one because of this is more complicated technology to create this type of crystal. You see, and it's quite heavy, guys. It's like, this is heavy. This one is using the uranium. Of course, it's not radioactive, but in the technology to create this kind of glass, they use uranium. So that's why it has this beautiful green color, and that's why the things made of this type of glass are super expensive. What it cost? Сколько она стоит вот это? 3500. This tiny vase costs around 3,000 rubles, 500. And for this size, this is not cheap. So you can buy from the regular glass for this amount, for this price, you can buy a huge vase. You can see that this is a double glass. Inside, this is transparent, and the upper layer, this is the red glass. And then they carve out of this red glass, they carve out this pattern, and this what makes it beautiful and unique.
Of course, I can speak a lot about things made in my hometown, but I would love to hear your impressions. Please share in comments what you think about what you saw about this crystal art.
Russia knows Gus-Khrustalny, but almost no one outside Russia does. So now you do too. A small, proud Russian town, 40,000 people. A crystal factory founded in 1756, 20 years before the United States existed. I bought a vase at the crystal market, hand-cut, one of a kind, and I'm taking it to Paris to my mother-in-law. A little piece of this town doing what this town has always done, quietly making something beautiful. This is just life in Russia, a small town in winter with its snow and its dogs and its crystal. My family is from here, so am I, and we're all a little proud of it. That was the fourth stop in the most sanctioned country in the world: Moscow, Suzdal, Nizhny Novgorod, and the town I'm from. So tell me in the comments, do you want more of this? Small Russian towns, real life inside Russia, the quiet places nobody films? Or do you want the other kind, places like Nizhny Novgorod with the Soviet past and the secrets? Tell me which way to go. I am Natalia, and thank you for staying. Don't forget to press like.